We are live, baby, live for the Podcasting Dad. I'm Justin Lloyd, and we are talking about episode 2 of The Last of Us. Joining me, these two handsome devils. We've got Seth, a.k.a. the Appalachian American, and Matt, a.k.a. Matty Dubs.
Matty Dubs!
What's happening?
In now, and we're early. You guys should be so proud of us for being early. We're never early. We're always late. But now we're early.
Better
Meaning we
late
probably
than
won't have
never.
the viewers because they're all waiting till 10:30. But anyways, getting into episode 2 of this this new awesome show, fellas. Give me your thoughts. What'd you think?
I liked the episode. The only thing I didn't like was like it was focused on just the 3 characters. Like there was like nobody else in the episode, was there?
Oh, you're gonna hate this show then.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like I'm
show.
not used like I'm used to like multiple characters coming like in and out,
Oh,
like
no.
appearing in and out. So
You're gonna
So just
have
from,
more
like-
characters, but this show
I
is
didn't hate it,
very
it was different.
character-driven.
yeah.
No, that so Matt's gonna end up being the Seth and hating the show, and me and Seth.
Well, like I
are
didn't
gonna be
hate it,
the
I'm
people
just-
like.
Like you
'Cause
just don't
that's-
see like that much with other shows. Like you don't seem so focused on such like such a small cast. So that, like it wasn't bad. It's just I'm not used to it, I guess.
They're going to meet other characters, but there is going to be a lot of, because the entire thing is just super character driven.
If it rolls like the game does, you're going to get stuck with these characters, but you will interact with others as you come and go. It's just you're focused on these two.
Yeah, these
It
two
seemed
are
like
the
just
sole
very
focus
closed. Yeah.
of the show.
Yeah.
I didn't expect Tess to go so quick.
I didn't either.
I mean, we knew it was coming if you played the game, but
Yeah.
like, I don't know. I thought she was going to make it halfway through the season. Seth, what did you think?
I noticed when she got after the museum, which can we just say that museum scene
Phenomenal.
straight out of the game.
Phenomenal. Yeah.
Straight. And I have wrote down on I took notes. And again, I've come out more pro than con. So yay.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Let
Show me
just
the
give you-
list.
But now, all right, so I turned it into 3 sections. I have pro, con, and comment. But anyway, the museum scene was phenomenal. Seeing a clicker like live action, even though I'm sure it is like CG, but still that was
Is that
so
racist
cool.
to them calling them clickers?
You get the solo screen of shame. Seth, we have to be quiet for 30 seconds.
All right, muting starting now.
All right, revoked. Anyways, no, the museum scene was fantastic, and those clickers looked so good. Like they looked so good and
Yes.
so scary. It was so tense. I love how they built up the suspense. Matt, did you find it tense? Were you?
Oh
on
yeah, we were on
edge?
the edge of our seat because my wife's like okay, like so like can they hear? Can they see? Can they smell? Like how do they know that someone's present?
What did your wife think? What did your wife think? This is, she was into the first episode. What did she think of the second episode?
She didn't like it as much the first, but I think she kind of had the same sentiment as I did. Like it was just being like such a closed, like it's just a closed cast. Like there wasn't much interaction with any other people, so
Oh,
that
boy.
kind of threw us. Like it threw us off because like we're not used to that kind of like presentation. But she liked it. She definitely was pants grabbingly nervous for that museum scene.
Matt, do you game?
Not as much as I used to. Just
Like, do you have a
Just-
console or anything?
mm-mm.
Oh, I was wondering because, like, I would love to get your reaction of playing The Last of Us.
It's on Steam, isn't it?
I don't know.
No, I don't think it is. It's a PlayStation exclusive.
it's PlayStation. Yeah.
Man, we could set that up. I mean, we
Yeah.
could certainly do a playthrough. We could make that happen. Just do like a playthrough. Yeah, I do like it, but I will tell you, you and your wife need to prepare yourself because this is whereas The Walking Dead, kind of got away from like being this show is, if it's going to stick like the games, it's going to be hyper focused on. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised for an episode of just Joel and Ellie minus say a few evil soldiers or something. I mean, it's a very,
It's very
small
claustrophobic.
Yep.
That's a good way to describe it. It's just we're not used to being that confined to characters.
That whole scene where the infected like was mouth to mouthing Tess. That gave me the heebie-jeebies, man.
Yeah, that was
a little
weird.
horny.
That made you what, Matt?
A little horny.
30 seconds of shame.
Mm.
Full disclosure, if you're new to the podcast, Matt hates having the screen soloed on him, so that's why it's a 30-second screen of shame.
I'm getting better with it. I'm getting in my comfy zone.
But that was weird. Like they don't do that in the game. So that whole thing was just kind of odd. It's like, oh my God, the zombies are coming. Oh no, I don't want to get bit. Even worse, they kiss you.
We were on the cusp of a love story.
Yeah. Well, I was wondering if they were sensing that she was infected.
Yeah,
that's why they weren't ripping her apart.
Mm-hmm. But then again, though, Ellie's infected, and they still try to tear her apart. You know what I mean? I thought the same thing.
This show really hates guns.
Why do you say that?
Because, like, all right, the battery's getting kind of weird. It's like you're doing this all for a battery when I'm sure there's some there. Like the battery's not in a trade of doing things. A battery is not worth hauling a kid to. Did they ever tell you where this place is?
I bet a live car battery would be worth something.
I thought the car battery played more into him wanting to reconnect with Tommy than anything. So I thought they changed because there's plenty. I mean, they're carrying guns and shooting guns in the episode. I thought they just changed out the guns to battery because of the new way they've worked the storyline with him trying to get to Tommy. Right,
but the scene that caught my attention that made me think about this was Tess they knock over all the fuel in that room, and she's trying to light it.
Pill for a few of them on the way out.
Yeah, but in the here's the comparison between the game. In the game, it wasn't a swarm; it was the army. The army rolls up, and so she gets guns, and she just sits there and lights them up as they come through the kill box. Just bam, 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 just taking out as many as she can. And I mean, they eventually light her up, but I mean, she's already dead anyway.
Pretty short-lived fight if it was the guns ablaze.
Well, it was just enough to cause a blockade to get them, Joe and Ellie, through the building.
I don't know. I don't know if it's that they hate guns or they just wanted to make her exit more explosive, pun intended.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that was just a comment that I wrote down because it seemed awfully awkward that they're removing guns out of situations. I mean, yeah, Joel carries that AR, but he never had it in the game. You don't get an opportunity for an AR until like way in the end of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, and it wasn't until after that scene that he even gets a rifle.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can figure they're going to change things up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can we just comment on how awesome the landscape looked?
Dude, when I saw that building laying over, I had PTSD.
So good. Yeah, the landscape looked fantastic. And so what's this new thing that they're doing in the show that they don't do in the game? So it's like, at least I don't remember it being in the game. So like if you disturb the fungus while it's in a body, it can send signals to other fungus or something.
Yeah, this hive mind mentality is kind of weird.
Yeah, because in the game you didn't really have anything like that, so that's new.
Well, fungus does have like a lot of roots that extend way the ass underground, so I guess it like works like kind of like almost like a neuron, like where it can communicate to fungus far away.
It makes sense, and the fungus's main goal is just to spread the fungus further.
So it's like, what do they do when they win? Like when the fungus takes over, like what do they win?
The planet.
It is ours now. Why did we pursue this again anyways, guys?
I thought the intro scene was really cool because the game doesn't really give you much flashback to any of that.
Yeah.
So I liked that scene of,
I liked it. It was slow, but I liked it.
What did we do? Nothing. We just blow everybody up.
I enjoyed it.
When I cut it on, I had to double check to make sure I was watching the right thing.
You are watching India Today.
I thought it was good. And then he's like, what do we do? And she's like, bomb.
Can't
bomb
do nothing.
Everything. bomb everyone. I guess with her studies, she knows how fungus spreads, and that if it's
And you
evolved
can't
to
do nothing.
take over humans, it's like, well, this is the end. Let's see. David One Buzz says, I thought Tess would have died episode 3. Yeah, I definitely thought she was going to make it a little bit further.
Yeah.
But when you look at the game, I mean, that game is how many hours long? Like 20, 30 hours long. I guess if you were to break it up in episodes in the game, she would have died, somewhere around the same time. So
it's 20 hours or so, because I did I've done a playthrough on my channel, and it's got a playlist and everything.
Yeah, so 20 hours of the game, and she died within the first few hours of playing it. So I guess in episode time it'd be similar, but I just thought she was going to last a little bit longer. But
yeah,
she went out with a boom. Jay Scarf says the city was awesome, amazing CGI.
That was real Boston. That's modern Boston.
Let's see. So why were they in the museum? They had to go around and through the museum to get to where they were going.
Yeah. Well, see, they were supposed to go through
To
an
learn
office
about
building.
history.
That office building that was crooked, that was the first building that they go through. That was their first encounter with clickers in the game. Yeah. God, clickers are so freaky.
I really like when she's walking across that board too, like just like the game, which I think, I remember it was like her and him crossing it or whatever, but I remember that from the game.
Yes, the answer to that question is yes.
Origin story. I hope not. If I see him step up,
Pedro Pascal eventually becomes bald. And
see, now I've only got one complaint. Truly, I mean, I've enjoyed every bit of it. I can't think of any complaints except for one, and that's Pedro Pascal's accent goes in and out so much. It's like 1 minute he's real country, and then the next minute it just sounds like Pedro Pascal, which, I mean, I can forgive. It's not the end of the world, but there definitely are times when he's talking that I'm like, see, Joel had such a thick Southern accent. It was so essential to his character. Now, Tommy, on the other hand, has got his video game voice nailed. Tommy sounds just like he does in the game, but Joel, his accent kind of comes in and out.
He needs to get some coaching.
Like I keep thinking he's going to slip into Oberyn Martell from Game of Thrones. Let's see. I thought the board was going to break. Wouldn't that be?
Yeah, Ellie breaks, falls to the ground, dies. Shit.
What did you think of the group of like the what do they call them? Horde, swarm, whatever. Like just laying on the ground, just kind of writhing.
And when the beam crosses over them, they're like,
it's not something you see in the game, but again, I keep telling myself it's not going to be exactly like the game. They got to introduce new elements to keep it fresh for people that have played the game. I thought it was eerie. I knew it was going to come to play later. I was like, they are not going to stay on the ground. Like
it's them far shots. Like even in The Walking Dead, it's them far shots that are just set the creep factor, because this stuff is going on in the distance, but you're just kind of out of reach of it.
Yep. And I agree with Jay Scarf, which we'll have to play this little
Don't care.
Where's Tommy? I don't know. I'm interested to see how they're going to play that, because like we said last podcast, in the game it had been a while since they had talked, and now it's like been 3 weeks or something. So they're changing Tommy and Joel's dynamic, which is going to be interesting, because I just remember having a little brother myself. Like, I love the scene in the game when they're in Jackson and Joel is trying to get Tommy to take Ellie, the rest of the way. And, Joel kind of gets in his face, pushes him or whatever. And he's like, don't put your hand. We're not back in Boston. Don't put your hands on me again, or it's not going to end well for you. And I'm like, dang, little brother. Dang. So it's like just Ellie and Joel. I mean, yeah, to an extent. They're going to meet other characters. Don't worry. We know that what's his name? Ron Swanson is going to be in it.
How do you feel about Frank? What's his name? I
was going to say you got Bill and Frank coming.
Bill and Frank. But like when we in the game, Frank's not there.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I don't mean, well, we don't know that they're going to both be. I know from reading ahead that we know there's going to be a little bit more backstory on them too. Like we're going to see a little bit more of them, like pre Joel's arrival, I think. So I don't know. He still might not be, because from Tess and Joel's point of view, they're both still there. But also in the game, doesn't Bill have to tell you who Frank was? Like, you don't just know Bill and Frank, right?
Well, no, yeah, that Bill tells you about Frank. He tells you that they're friends, yada yada yada, and then later on, like when you find Frank after the
Right.
school.
Because it's like she said Bill and Frank as if they already knew of both of them. But in the game, I'm pretty sure Bill has to tell you Frank was his. I mean, and that's the thing in the game. We know in the show they're going to be gay. And in the game, I assume they were gay because of the way he kept saying my partner. Like, he kept saying it like in that way. But I think the show's going to expand a little bit more on their relationship.
And I guess I never really thought about it, but I just assumed that they were like partners in the apocalypse.
Survival partner.
Yeah.
Not lover.
Yeah. I never thought about it.
Why is there no super chat button again?
It's still not there.
I've gotten all my stuff straight with YouTube, man. I'm gonna tell you, it's stuff like this that just makes me want to quit podcasting altogether.
Rob just said
serious,
$2.
Man. It's like YouTube,
$2.
YouTube is damned and determined that they're gonna make money off of you, but you are not gonna make a cent off of them. It's
well, then what the hell are we doing here, boys?
Everybody watching, if you see ads on this and not a super chat button,
boycott.
Skip it. Yeah, if you see ads and there's a super chat button, please watch.
Yep. Michael Myers says also, isn't the voice actor for Joel playing a new character in the show? I thought he was playing one of the cannibals.
Oh, really?
I think
I
Troy
thought he was
Baker
supposed to be like some guard or something.
But he might be.
It was like $30 million. Too bad, no button. That could have been yours.
Oh man,
worry.
Dang it!
Getting to the bottom of this shiz. But yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see. I thought he was playing one of the cannibals, but I might be wrong. There's nobody really knows up to this point. It's just speculation. I saw that was Tom Paine for Jesus from The Walking Dead. Wasn't he? He was on the red carpet or something, right? So like, is he in this show?
I don't know. Troy Baker is playing one of the cannibals.
Aha. I knew it.
As does Ashley Johnson. They obviously are in roles that they aren't in roles they initially play in the game.
So wait, Ashley Johnson is playing.
They're going to be in it. They're going to be in it. They just don't. They're not saying what.
I think Ashley Johnson, which if you don't know who Ashley Johnson is, for those that haven't played the game, Ashley Johnson is the one that voices Ellie in the game. And I think she's playing someone's mom, like maybe Ellie's mom or something. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. Yeah, I don't know, Matt. So I want to know, like, I'm going to center stage you here for a second as someone who's never played the game, all of that good stuff. Like, what are you thinking thus far?
I'm liking it. Me and Ashley, we're invested. We want to see where this is going.
What do you like about it?
I don't know. Just the cinematography. It's like it has that Walking Dead vibe, but it's like it's different. And it has being on HBO, like they can show more things like than we saw like on AMC.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's I hope it continues. I hope it gets big because the first episode got a ton of praise.
Yeah, we loved the first episode.
Thoughts on the actress for Ellie? So Bella Ramsey, when they cast her, I was like, what in the world? Like, I just was like, she doesn't look anything like Ellie, but like I'm watching the show and I like her as Ellie. I think she does a good job.
Yeah, she's fitting the bill. But compared to what you're sold from the game, it's like, wow.
Yeah. That's my problem.
What?
But I mean, I get now. I have no issue with her like attitude. I like her attitude.
Oh
but
yeah.
She just looking at her. I just don't see Ellie.
No, but honestly, looking at Pedro Pascal, I don't see Joel.
I wish there was another Joel. Yeah. I wish Troy Baker would have just played Joel.
No, that wouldn't have worked. He's too skinny.
Who cares? I would have believed it.
No, because then you would have had people going, "He too skinny to play Joe." You're not gonna make everybody happy. To the people that played both games, are the villains good compared to The Walking Dead?
No one will ever be as good as Pope.
I knew that was coming.
Yeah.
I knew that was coming.
Hey, he put the crumbs out, and I followed the crumbs and I ate them.
So what I'll say about the villains in The Last of Us is they are not as larger than life as the Walking Dead villains. Like some of the Walking Dead villains are just like comic book level, because it came from a comic. But they are, they're larger than life in a way. And these villains are far more grounded in reality. But I like some of the villains on this for sure. And I'm just trying to turn the super chat button on.
Yeah, David was really cool. Creepy. I didn't realize until I looked at the cast that was Nolan North playing David.
Yeah.
Like the voice and stuff.
Mhm.
That dude, man. I could never forget him being like, "Come here, Ellie," in the restaurant.
Oh yeah. No, I'm excited for it to get, and we've only got 6 episodes left, so I think things are gonna.
Oh, it's gonna be an 8er.
Do what?
It's only gonna be an 8 episode, an 8er, if you will.
An 8er.
Just an 8er.
What does that mean?
We get an 8er.
Yeah,
Dang, shit.
that's why I think the story's progressing a little faster than it could have, should have. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I feel like it's gonna have to. I'm trying to. Y'all bear with me. I'm trying to turn on super chat, so I need y'all to keep people entertained here for a
9 people watching. How about y'all hit that like button?
Yeah, that helps a lot.
Share us on social media.
If 9
Right
people
meow.
get 9 of your friends to join us soon, we'll have infinite people in here.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out what is going on with our channel because I went through hell with YouTube. I mean, I'm talking they had to mail me something that I had to.
First it was pretty cool.
To go.
First there was one, and then there were none.
All right. Anyways.
Why can't HBO do us like Netflix and just like dump them all right at once, and we just like try to watch them?
There is a reason for them to do episodics, and because binge model is good for right now conversation, but if we had the entire season right now, we would have it burned up. We would be talking about it, and by next weekend we'd be on to something else.
Oh yeah, no,
I like to live fast.
I'm glad they're doing
Live fast, die young.
This way of every week a new episode gets the conversation rolling, gets it trending every Sunday night. It stretches out the longevity of the conversation.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm oh my God, let's see. All right, anyways, I'd much rather them do it episode by episode than to release it all.
Pump and dump.
Well, I mean, to watch, yeah, sure, it'd be cool to watch it all, but because I mean, every time you get into it, you're like, oh yeah, like let me just see more and more and more. But from our perspective as commentators on social media, it's better for us to be weekly.
What I'm saying is I have a problem with addictions.
Oh, well.
I need help.
Okay, now super chat should be enabled. Robert, check it out.
Refresh.
Yeah,
Too late. He already gave his money to somebody else.
Let's see.
I'm pulling my up, see if it's
super thanks, super stickers. I don't even know what super stickers are.
I still don't have a button for it.
What? Refresh, see if it's there, and then we'll continue talking about the episode.
Justin said the darn word once they took away all monetization opportunity.
Well, normally it's Matt that gets on here and starts cursing.
Oh,
yeah.
I see it. Yep, it's there.
Yay! Super chat is back. I hope I don't have to do that for every damn live stream because I already had it enabled, and then I guess when I had to redo my
Oh yeah, there it is.
So super chat is now available. Anyways, now that I got that off my mind and got it back enabled, back to the episode. So, yeah, I would. I know you were talking about it being released episode by episode, and I think they wanted stretch it out, make it longer because I don't know what do you think, Seth, as far as the pacing? Where do you think season 2 is going to put us at? Like for the people that have played the game, without spoiling too much, where do you think we're going to be at in season 2 compared to the first 2 games?
The way that they're rolling, and there's only 8 episodes, I doubt. I wonder if they're going to be meeting the cannibals as like a season finale.
That's not a bad observation. It could be. And Matt, you know what? That is fantastic. Thank you, Matt. Tell your brother to put his money where his mouth is now and to send that $30,000 to however much.
Good and tasty.
Oh God, it's so good.
You too can get a super chat screen.
Oh yeah, here we go.
Yay! I'm so glad we've got super chat back.
Oh God, it's so good.
If you ain't first, you're last.
This is the kind of thing that just tickles my balls.
People don't realize, but actually, that line was actually a quote from The Last of Us.
Saren Soros says season 1 will be the entire first game.
Yeah, I don't know if you could do all that, like, because we still have to meet Henry and Sam. So I don't see it being. That would be an entirely rushed to do. What you said, 6 more episodes.
6 more episodes.
It's an 8, as we already said.
I don't math very well. All right.
I don't math very well. Jay Scarf
I
says,
just like maters and I like my eaters.
I just think about how Joel isn't a good person like Rick. What do you mean by that? Did we say that last episode?
I don't know, but I did pick. There was a thing that Tess said, and I actually wrote it down in my notes that
they had done good things or something.
Did Tess acknowledge that they were not good people?
Yeah,
and it was like I don't ever really remember them being like that.
Oh no, dude. They totally hint at with like Tommy and Joel's conversation that Joel's done some awful stuff.
Right, but I always thought they were more of a Robin Hood type.
No, I think that
took from the rich, gave to the poor kind of deal.
See, and it's just, I guess, different because like before, like this episode, if you would have asked me, I would have told you like they've done some messed up stuff. I mean, especially like in the first game. I mean, they were like with Robert. I mean, he got it way worse in the game. Well, yeah.
Well, he had it coming
in the game, right? He did, but
my brother Robert, yeah, he's a piece of shit.
But I mean, like,
you don't talk about Rick, our only super chatter for tonight.
What makes Rick any different?
I think Rick is a better person than them. Honestly, they classified Rick as an anti-hero. He won I remember Andrew Lincoln won an award for like best TV anti-hero. And I remember going, Rick's not an anti-hero. Like, I mean, yeah, he does some bad, but he never, Joel
goes out of his way to
has like, Joel, especially like now in the show, he's been a pill dealer and he beat a soldier to death. And just, I think that Joel, the character, has done more shady stuff. Like since his daughter died, he's done
right. But this is expressed post The Last of Us 2 post like the show. This wasn't there in the game.
Did we play
this wasn't there in his character.
Like when The Last of Us 2, when Ellie and Dina are walking and she talking about Joel getting killed, and she's like, why would they do that or something to that effect? And she's like, Joel's done a lot of stuff to a lot of people. I mean, it's heavily implied in the game that Joel has done a lot of shit.
Yeah, in two.
No, well, even in the first, because Tommy tells Joel, he's like, some of the things that we had to do, I still have nightmares about that. So that's insinuating that they've done some pretty bad stuff.
Right, but you still have to do some stuff. Like you can't just not do bad stuff. And doing bad stuff doesn't make you a bad person.
I mean, I don't know. I think that, I don't know. I just, when I played the game, I had the impression that Joel had done some pretty awful stuff in the past. Like, not that he was a straight up villain, but that he's been all about himself and surviving. If that meant
Never
killing
held a
you to
door
get
open for
what he needed,
nobody.
he'd do it, whereas like Rick would try to save people. I think Joel, like when we got that first episode, when, like just like that is how I imagine him in the game. Like,
It's coming,
I'm a
Rob, don't
strong
you worry.
father that's like, hey, I'm just here for survival. Shane is an anti-hero. He is, until he tried to kill Rick. Then he just became a straight out villain.
Say to not get the good and tasty.
Oh, I'm working on it. Well, let's see. First off, we're going to give you a Dale face. Super chats be having me like,
This is the kind of thing that just tickles my balls.
Nice to have it back.
thank you so much, Hayden B. Rob, you've been one up, so, keep giving us monies. Let's see. Remember when that guy jumps in front of their car in that one city? Joel knew that trick because he tells Ellie he uses it to do that too. Yes.
Yeah.
I forgot about that part. Matt, you don't know what he's talking about yet.
But no,
That's
like
in the video
people,
game.
like, not saying that I know that, but just like people acting like they're stranded, need help, and they end up jumping you.
Oh yeah, because like he says, yeah. I mean, it's like that's right. When the dude with the hood comes out or whatever, and he's like,
help!
he knows
help me.
Joel knows that trick because he used to do the same thing.
He made
So, I
that
mean,
trick.
Let's see. What are some Walking Dead main characters and villains you think can survive the apocalypse? That apocalypse. None of them.
Yeah.
You drop them in, and Rick would be like, "It's a walker." Oh man, why what's coming out of? Why is it French kissing Daryl? Daryl, no!
You're only supposed to be French kissing me.
Rick, I like it.
Nobody puts fungus in Daryl's mouth but me.
But me.
I don't know, man. I think maybe Rick could. Daryl probably. And maybe Negan, Maggie.
Just from what I've seen
I
these
don't
two
know.
episodes, I think the clickers would really outpace them.
I think if they like dropped parallel universe, I don't know. If we're starting from scratch, I really don't know. It depends.
Rick,
'cause they'd
I've
all
got the
develop
chain link
differently,
fence
but-
up. I hope it holds.
But if they would just like here 1 minute and teleport it into that universe the next minute, I think they'd all be dead. Especially with the clickers. He'd be like, "What's coming out of that one's face, Rick?"
I don't know. Let's all get together and touch it.
Let's see, Beta. I don't know, man. I don't think Beta could survive. I don't think his little like steer the herd tricks would work in that universe. I don't think Beta would last very long. Well, he might off of pure strength, but I don't think his tactics would work.
How would you blend them with the clickers? Is that possible?
Let's see. Anime Night says, I might have some speculations as to what Joel did, but YouTube will not allow it. We'll just try it anyways.
What's up, Anime? How you doing, bud?
Just try it. No, I'm trying to think, recapping on. I mean, it's a lot of really good things about it that I enjoyed. I love the way the clickers look. I thought it was very tense because it needs to be tense. Like in the game, it's tense, especially in the game you have limited resources. So like everything is tense. Dale Solo's The Last of Us.
Yeah, it's supposed to be RV.
Hey, did you notice after the museum scene and they're sitting up there on like the rooftop or whatever? Do you see him? He wrapped a cloth around his arm, or gave Ellie a cloth to wrap around her arm.
Yep. It's a lot of little nods to the game. I
That
love.
was cool.
Like them constantly going in their backpacks for stuff. I love that
Yeah.
because in the game, you're constantly going in your backpack to get stuff. It's a lot of little nods like that.
You could get
that
messed up on
big-ass
your
Sammy.
leg and you still wrap your arm.
Hands hurt from unboxing figures, but just the fingertips on the thumb and the index. Hey, it's done and watching episode 2.
Well, all right then.
I'm confused. I mean, if you're trying to talk dirty to me, just come on out and do it.
Yeah, you don't have to beat around the bush with us.
But yeah, I'm gonna be watching that day. YouTube's got me paranoid now. Anyways, do you think it would be nice if they add puzzles from the game to the show? I mean, in a realistic aspect, not from a, like the gameplay is just giving you something to do. It's like it would be cool, but it would have to be like well done. But I mean, yeah, like Ellie, push that box down here so I can
Yeah.
slide it up.
I'm waiting on them to find a locked box and a combination.
Yeah, you find a
be
lot
awesome
of
trying to
those in the
pick it.
game.
Yeah, or a one of the guides to make your bombs better, or guns shoot better. Or, ooh, what about the table?
It would be cool if they found a table and like flicked on the light and put his gun down and upgraded it.
Oh,
They
hey,
might. They might. They're doing a lot of very detailed things in comparison to the game. Like, I mean, I definitely can tell that it was written with the game. Like, whereas you go watch something like Resident Evil, and it's so far from the source material, it's ridiculous. You can tell they're, putting a lot of attention in here for the people that are fans of the game. I'm trying to think of other things from the game I'd like to see. We got to see a Molotov cocktail at one point.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if we don't see a Molotov cocktail by the end of this season, I'm not going to be a happy camper.
Were bloaters known?
I don't know about if bloaters, because I do know like the shamblers were like new in the second one, just because she mentioned something like, like that's a new one, or something signifying that they weren't familiar with them. But I don't remember if the bloaters were new or known.
A lot of these terms just sound so derogatory.
And they were talking about exploding spores, but so far we haven't seen any spores in the game. I mean, in the show.
No, and I read the article like what you were talking about last week, where they've confirmed there's not going to be spores in the game, and in the show, and I'm guessing maybe this mouth thing is kind of like a chain. I don't know, because we know the mouth things are not in
Damn
the game.
good kissers.
It's just weirded me out, man. Like when that thing started like fungus tongue kissing her. Like,
back in the intro, did you think that lady was going to come alive?
Yes, I thought she was going to bite that doctor's finger.
I was like, oh, she's going to do it. She's going to do it.
This is the kind of thing that just tickles my balls.
My wife wanted to ask too, what's the rules there? Like, so like if a body's dead but it has fungus, like can it reanimate?
No. If you die, no, because the body still has to function, which is why body shots, slitting throats, stabbing, all of that will kill them. So the body has to be alive. So it's not like they can get bit, you kill them, and then they're going to come back from the fungus. Like the living dead has never been a thing in this game. It's infected living humans. Bloaters are known because they are implied to have been infected for many, many years. And Joel said this in episode, some of the infected have been alive since the start of the outbreak.
Yeah,
Right.
I did remember that mention.
But in the game, the first time that he run into one, it was in the school, and he was like, what the hell is that?
I'm interested too, because Matt, since you didn't play the game, one thing that's like the longer there's some stages of infection that are people that have been infected like the whole 20 years, some
Good
that
Lord.
are like 2 years, and then it's
That's one hell of an athlete's foot.
a lot of fungus.
He's a fun guy.
But I don't know, as far as I wonder if the Rat King's going to make an appearance.
Oh, did you answer Mike Myers' question about JPC in the show?
No, I meant to, and then you got me sidetracked.
These derogatory fungus terms.
Sidetracked. I know. I don't know. We did a Patreon, which if you don't follow us on Patreon, you should go find us. Patreon.com/thepodcastingdad. Extra podcasts you can't get anywhere else and all that good stuff. And JP's still over on the Patreon. He just refuses to do anything YouTube related.
And then get a Rumble account so you can watch the Patreon video, and then the more Rumble followers, we can go live on there once you get 100.
I need to start working on Rumble. But JP, we Patreon casted, I think, on Thursday, and up to that point, JP hadn't seen it yet, but he was going. He's very, very interested, so I expect by now he probably has. Exactly what makes the last of. I'm thinking there's supposed to be an L in there.
Yeah, I think there's supposed to be an L in there.
The of us. HBO presents The of Us.
The of Us. Hey, is it just me or does the intro feel like The Walking Dead?
I think that's just,
Um,
I don't get that at all.
It
like the
I
Walking
get
Dead
the
intro
same
compared.
vibe. Like I get the same vibe as the newer Walking Dead intro.
I could see a few
Maybe
parallels, but
because of the animation,
Yeah.
perhaps.
That's
you know.
and I'm not saying like that's a
like how
bad
it
thing.
jumps
I'm
from
just saying
like escape to escape.
it feels very similar.
There's some parallels.
I just love the music in The Last of Us.
I do
Like,
too.
it's so well done. Now, the music in The Last of Us, as far as, a lot of that's very, I can see some similarities between the, heavy acoustic music and almost bluesy sounding music in The Last of Us, like with The Walking Dead, because some of their, a lot of their music that they chose for the show had some of that same type of vibe. But Seth, what do you expect out of episode 3? I mean, like, where do you think they'll be? What part of the game do you think they'll cover? Any ideas of where we might be next week?
I think there's going to be some more. I think there's going to be some recovery of. I mean, Joel just lost Tess, so there's going to be. It might seem a little slow. Thanks, Sean. I don't know if they're going to run into Sam and no, wait. I'm trying to think of like how the game progression, because aren't they in Pittsburgh when they run into Henry and Sam?
I believe so. I've been saying I wanted to go back and replay the first one because I played the last one I played was the not the new remake, part 1, but like the original remake. When that came out, that was the last one I had played. And I've been saying I was going to go back and play it. But I hadn't got around to it, so I'm not 100% sure on that.
Oh yeah, the Bill section.
Yeah, some added backstory of Bill and Fred. I mean, not Fred. Bill and Frank. Bill and Fred. Bill and Frank. Henry and Sam will most likely be episode 4 and 5 area. Man, it's gonna be yeah. So Matt, you'll have some new characters, but I'll say when you get new characters, you're not like it's only going to be a few at a time. You know what I mean? Like you're never going to have the group dynamic that you get from The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Like that's not a not a thing. Let's see. Hopefully they do the part where they get to the gymnasium and meet Sam afterwards. Hopefully Henry shows
Sweet
up
workout montage.
I want a Molotov scene. I need it. Oh, I don't know, man. The Resident Evil universe. Well, I mean, I guess it did get global at some points. I know the movie did, but we pretend those movies never happened. But I don't know. I think, I mean, if the Resident Evil if the T virus or the G virus got out to the entire planet, probably the Resident Evil universe, because they've got lickers and tyrants and all kinds of crazy stuff. So I'd say Resident Evil, if we're talking both were on a worldwide apocalypse, for sure, Resident Evil. Oh my God, with this Pope.
They won't. I mean, it's just a known fact.
So is their main goal getting Tommy? I think that's right now the main goal is supposed to be getting Ellie to where she's got to go, but I definitely think Joel which is interesting because I don't know, I'm wondering how Joel and Tommy's reunion will be in the show, because we know how it was in the game and it wasn't anything like they're going to now. So, oh my God, I'm gonna tell you that game was interesting. Operation Raccoon City.
There's so much to fit in an 8-episode season that I just don't think we're gonna get the entire first game in season 1.
And I honestly hope we don't. I don't want them to try to fit.
That'll be so rushed and just feeling like empty.
Which one thing to keep in mind, though, is that the games are like 20 hours, but there's a lot of gameplay. I mean, I know there's a lot of cut scenes too, but there's a lot of gameplay that when you take it out really condenses it down. And so it's like, obviously we're not going to have near as much combat because, by God, by the end of the first season, Joel will have killed like 500 people. Like
Yeah.
Joel will be on his way to killing more people than some modern viruses do. But, with that said, I don't know. I hope they don't rush it. Like, I would not mind, like you said, I would be perfectly fine if like the cannibals showed up on the last episode. Like that section of the game was the finale. And it's like, I don't know. It's like, it's weird. I don't want to say much about the game because I don't want to spoil it. And I already feel bad for saying cannibals for people that haven't seen or played the game. But at the same time, I also feel like the majority of people watching the show have played the game. But
Except Matt.
Except Matt. Oh, I pay no attention. I feel like, where are they taking Ellie to? Said Jay Scarf. They're taking her to meet up with the Fireflies.
But have they said where it's at?
But out west is all I heard.
I don't I don't know.
Is it supposed to be Salt Lake City?
Well, I know now what were they talking about earlier in the show when they
No.
mentioned Wyoming?
I think that's what they were saying. Isn't that where Tommy's at? Somewhere like
Yeah.
out near Cody.
No, they thought that they were going to be at the college in Colorado. And then when they get to the college in Colorado, they find a recording that says that they heard of a hospital in Salt Lake City.
I could have sworn I heard him say something about Cody, Wyoming.
Side note, an interesting fact, completely unrelated to the Last of Us. And if you're here just for the Last of Us, hang tight 1 second. Just a quick Walking Dead fact that I think that they'd find interesting. My buddy Brad told me today that if you watch the episode where Abraham hands Rick the map that shows the route they're going to take to DC, they go right through our town, like right through the town of Halifax. They go through Danville, through Greensboro. So like on that map, it goes through where we live, Matt.
They get here like, we don't need anywhere else. This place is perfect.
Do you think
Psych, and they
Jensen
keep
Ackles
going.
or Hugh Jackman could have played Joel as good as Pedro or possibly better?
Oh, Jensen, that would be interesting.
Jensen Ackles, maybe.
Yeah, it would have been. Anybody would have been better.
Oh my God.
I don't like Pedro Pascal.
I mean,
He
I don't
fits
like
his
a lot
roles.
of the actors themselves, but I can like their. I think he's doing a fine job. My only complaint at all is I like Pedro Pascal. Oberyn Martell is one of my favorite characters in Game of Thrones, and he wasn't even in there that long. But I think that he's doing a great job. I do think the accent could have used a little more work because I mean that's part of Joel's entire character in the game was just this very thick, heavy accent that we only get sometimes in the show.
I wonder if Pedro will get typecasted as a babysitter.
What do you
The
mean,
second role being a babysitter.
The Mandalorian, and now this. I don't know. Jensen was interested in playing Joel. Yeah, that would have been cool. If Pedro can stay in character and keep up the accent, then it'll be fine to a degree. Yeah, I think he's doing fine. I mean, I'm just trying to look at this as its own, I mean, of course we're going to compare it to the game. Why would we not? But with that said, I'm trying to judge it on its own merit as a totally different thing. Like Resident Evil, they tried to make movies different from the game, but they went way radically too different. And it just resulted in some horrible movies that sometimes are a guilty pleasure, but they're terrible. But let us know your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think? If you've played the game, where do you think we're going next episode? Are you going to miss Tess? I know we only had her 2 episodes, but I like Tess. I thought
They're
she
going to
was
find a cure and it'll be all happily ever after. That's my prediction.
next episode on the
We did
Last of
it!
Us. We did it. We found
We
this
win!
new treatment, and it just, even if they French kiss you, like it'll fix you. Well, no, that's what it is.
It was Foot Athlete's Cream this whole time.
You put the Gold Bond. The cure, we found it. What was it? Gold Bond.
Oh my God.
Why didn't we think of that? Thoughts on Amazon making a God of War TV show?
Ooh.
I don't know, but I'm playing Ragnarok, and thus far into it, I am not all that impressed with it. So I'll have to get further into it to see if I like it. But yo, someone know where to watch The Last of Us for free?
Ooh, HBO, that's a tough one to finagle.
That takes me back to the finale of
Yeah.
Walking Dead. Please,
Link, please.
Vikram. Where to watch the Walking Dead last
Vikram is
episode.
somewhere on a street in Brazil going, link, do you have the link?
And now we got a war with South America, and we don't really know why.
Oh,
Tell me, what do you want?
but let us know what you thought. Let us know if you enjoyed it, if you thought it sucked, what you do like, what you don't like. And we'll definitely be here next Sunday to discuss episode 3. And I really, truly hope that a lot more of them are just an hour because it's so nice not to start podcasting at 10:30. So, but we'll see you soon. In the meantime, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to go check out Seth's channel. Seth, you want to drop a link that I could?
I'm doing it right meow.
And before we go, let's rate the episode. I want to stay on track for that. Starting with you, Matt. Let's give it a ranking 1 to 5. Let's just say 1 to 5. Like
1 to 5. Then I'm going to say 4. And my reason is because like I mentioned earlier, like we weren't used to such a closed circuit of a group.
Right. It's understandable. Seth, go ahead and give it that 4.
He's gonna give it a 3.
How'd you know?
I knew because
you're predictable, Seth.
No, Matt. Justin, how'd you know?
You're predictable. Matt, what have I not always said that if there's only one talent I have on this earth is I am so good at reading and predicting people. I've said that and I prove it. Go ahead, Seth, give it the 4.
I have not moved my hand whatsoever. This is weird.
What's that old saying? Haters gonna hate. Anyways.
And Tater's gonna tate.
Hey, how is a 4 a hate?
It's hate.
Oh, that's right. We are going.
You just said 1 to 5.
See,
no, he meant 4 out of 10.
I was predicting 4, but on a scale of 1 to 10. So my ability to read people worked, but was wrong at the same time.
You had legit said 1 to 5.
That's true. So y'all both gave it a 4. I'm gonna be the one. I'm just gonna give it a 5 because for 2 weeks both episodes been super engaged and very much enjoyed it. So let us know your 1 to 5 score. That's awesome. Being
it's
wrong
a Pope
has
out of
never
10.
been so right. No, being right has never been so wrong.
Michael Myers has the most honest rating, I think.
You're going to get this sound effect from now on every single time I see Pope in the comments. Just a good old rim shot. Anyways, thank you so much for joining us. I'm Justin.
I'm Seth.
Metadubs.
And we'll see you next week.
The lover of Pope.
Adios. Goodbye. Kisses. Night-night.